coach.
Yes.
Can you talk about players who have switched positions? I was told Patterson is one of them. Anybody else? Can you talk about him? And
Yes. We moved Antonio Patterson to safety. He played that in high school too. A lot of kids play both ways. He came to me, wanted to try it. We've talked about it. We played him on special teams, so he's working at the safety spot. And Dylan Redmond, he's playing tight end and receiver. He's a walk-on that came that's really athletic, and he's gained about 20 pounds since he's got here. So I'm using him there.
He came in as a receiver?
Came in as a receiver. And he played quarterback, receiver, everything in high school, a great athlete. So we're kind of looking at some different guys in those positions there. So looking at that, so it's going well.
And how does Patterson look at as a safety? Does he look natural there?
Yeah, he looked good. Matter of fact, he had an interception today. He has excellent hands. So we'll see how it goes. But he looked fluid. He looked fluid, backpedaling, looked fluid, moving on the football. So hopefully he'll be able to take over and work at that position some.
What staff changes you had to coaching staff?
Well, we added KU, Coach KU, we call him, Coach Uduze. He was at Houston before. You might remember he played at Southern Cal. He's a first-round pick. Played for Minnesota. He's coached at the Titans and different places, so we're excited about having him here.
Was he coaching?
He's coaching the outside backers. And then we moved Anthony Gator from outside backers coach to corners coach. And Anthony played that here, was a great player. So that's kind of all the changes we've had there. Everybody else has stayed intact, and which is good. The continuity is good to keep the thing going in the right direction.
Coach, how different is day one of spring this season as opposed to the past?
Well, this is the most mature team we've had since I've been here. So it was a lot smoother, a lot more fluid, and we had a good number of players. So we're able to actually practice on two fields like I like to do to get the repetitions and get all the young guys getting the reps they need to get, and any of our new transfers or junior college guys so they can get more reps. So we've got big numbers out here, and that's critical for you getting better. So we weren't able to ever do that in the past of practicing on two fields in our team periods until this year.
Jenkins, talk about Jenkins the second year. How's he progressed? That's a big year. Big
well, Keyone's done real well. When you see him on television here in a minute, he's actually got some muscles now. I've been teasing him. He's gone from 180 to 192, stronger, and throwing the ball really well. So he looked good out there today, and he's had a good off season, and I know he'll have an excellent spring.
And what about Peterson? He's one of your veterans.
Yes.
What does it mean to have him come back?
It means a lot. Reggie had an excellent year last year. Reggie actually changed his number to 0. So when you see 0 out there, that's Reggie Peterson on defense now. Reggie's a great leader, made a lot of tackles and plays for us. It's a big deal to have Reggie back, and he did a good job today.
What about Flex? How do you see him after the injury?
Yeah, Flex is he's been coming on in winter workouts, and then today he was out there. We have him in a yellow jersey right now. He's not released to technically get hit yet, but he's doing all the full speed cutting, working on that. So as spring goes along, he'll be able to get more and more physical. But he is right on track and a little bit ahead.
So you think he will be on have contact this spring?
I don't know if we'll do a lot of contact with him, but he could be released for it. But I've told him I'm not going to have him have contact until the fall. He's gotten hit enough. He knows how to play. We just got to get him back to cutting full speed, and he's getting in better and better shape.
Coach, speaking about strong arms, you throw all the interceptions, right?
Yes. When I'm playing scout team quarterback, I throw a few interceptions.
You don't want your guys.
No, I'm trying to build confidence, but I toast them every once in a while.
Hey, what do you expect second year out of your quarterback?
I expect a big jump. He had some really good games last year, and then he had some games where you would expect as a freshman. But also our whole offensive line was freshmen and sophomores, and they're back. So now they're sophomores and juniors, and redshirt sophomores and redshirt juniors. That's a big difference. Got a lot of receivers back, running backs back, tight ends back. So they've all matured with him, and I expect him to have a great year.
Saw Antonio Patterson working with the safety.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
What was that conversation like to make that move for him?
He actually came to me. We have talked about it. I had seen him play in high school a lot because he's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and when I was at Memphis and different areas, and I had seen him play a lot. He played both ways in high school, and he has great hands, great vision. He came to me and said, with Flex coming back and knowing Flex is going to be really good, and he thought he could. He was in the mix at running back because he's a good running back, but he thought wanted to try to play safety and play there. And he had a pick today out there. We'll see how it keeps going, but he's a really good athlete, and we're excited about looking at him there. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. It means a lot to us. All right. Thanks.
Coach.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Appreciate it. And play pickleball.
Happy to be back, man.
How's it feel?
First, man, I just want to thank God for everything, because when it happened, like, I was ready to give up. Like, actually, when we were stretching today, I broke down to tears, like, just to be grateful to be out there. My knee feel good. It's a very emotional moment, but it made me real thankful and grateful to play this game.
How close did you say? You said you were ready to give up. How close did you come?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I was about like 8.5, because I already graduated, had different internships and jobs lined up, and it was a very bad injury, so it was a lot was weighing on me. But my teammates, my family, my coaches, they kept in my ear like, you got this, you got this, you got this. And all the hard work and rehab and the trust, I'm back.
What jobs did you have lined up, or what field?
Well, so I got my bachelor's in public policy, because one day I want to be mayor of Miami one day.
Nice.
So I had different internships at the city of Miami and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing.
That's it. And you're in a yellow jersey, so how bad do you want to be all the way back so you get contact and stuff like that?
Real bad, but it's a process. Like, I wish I could be in the white doing physical, but coach, the coaches know what's best for the players. So, I'm just trusting the process, be back there to play week 1.
You've been around politics then, huh?
Uh-huh.
So you still want to get into politics?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Why?
Because, everyone say they want to change their community. So my mindset was to change it from the inside, to actually make the laws and implement and stuff like that, to change the community from the inside, to make the community a better place.
That's awesome. And when you go back to where the injury happened at Hadley,
Yeah.
how are you going to feel?
I was a little skeptical about us
back.
going back, but, trust God, trust the process, and everything will be okay.
Looking back at last year, what were some things you learned about yourself?
I learned to be more, be patient, really. And everything happens for a reason, because when the injury happened, I was like, wow, this is supposed to be my senior season, make my strides to go to the next level, and it got taken away, and I questioned a lot. Instead of questioning, I accepted it and grew from it and learned from the experience.
Hey, Flex up. Peterson's back this year. What do you think about him being one of the leaders of the defense?
Yeah, he's a great guy, on and off the field. So like him, and we know every team needs those leaders and those guys you can trust and who always accountable. And Peterson, he's a great guy.
What about Jenkins? What did you, just watching from the sidelines, observing him, were you amazed that, first-year freshman?
Yeah. My mom was like, there's no way this kid a freshman. So like, and I was so excited to play with him, but I couldn't. But I'm happy I was fortunate to have the opportunity to play with Lights, Keyone Jenkins. That's he's a great quarterback.
What are you looking to see from Keyone this year and year 2?
To take that next step to be a leader. Because he was a freshman the first year, trying to get his hands wet, getting his feet wet. But now he's way more comfortable. We all know he's talented. He's the best quarterback in this conference. Best quarterback in the nation, really. And him to take that next step, be more comfortable, controlling the offense, it's going to be a show this year.
Have you seen the gun show? Because Coach Mack was raving about how big he was.
Oh yeah, he got big. We got one of the best strength staffs in the nation. So everyone toning their body up, losing body fat. Lights out, for example, gaining weight, gaining muscle. It's going to be a movie this year.
Flex, you're one of the veterans, or the biggest veteran among the running back group. Who are some of the young running backs that you're mentoring, or who have looked good in the position?
Oh, we have Jordan Clemens, Nathaniel Henry, Jose Corbo. Like, me being that older guy, they make me feel old a lot, but it's okay. The older, the more wisdom I have, but they come along, they listen, they're very attentive. So like, and each day I see them get better mentally in a meeting room and on the field.
How old are you now?
23.
23. And are you going for your master's now?
I'm actually about to get my master's this semester.
In public policy also?
In mass communications.
Mass communication.
Yes, sir.
Having been around this team for a while, talk about the maturity of the coach was talking about how this team is maturing this year. What do you see out there? That
that first year they came, it's a little like a trust factor on both sides. Like, the guys who were here before the coaching change, the new guys, like, can we really trust the coaches? That would really start at. But being in year 3, everyone all in. So the maturity level has risen, and we're trusting the process, trusting the system, and we're going to do big things this year.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Thanks, appreciate you, man. Why'd you change your number?
Just personal reasons, last year, like, I take that to heart. I keep it as a chip on my shoulder just to remind me, like, I didn't make any teams last year, no honorable mention. So for my last season, I just want to be reminded that 0, I made nothing. So, yeah.
You mean you're starting at ground zero? Is that what it means?
Started at ground 0. I'm always be 42. That's my family's number. They pass it down to me, but this is just for this year.
And you never wore this number before?
Never wore it before. Never wore.
How does it feel to be? How old are you now?
21, turning 22 in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay, and to be one of the oldest guys in the defense, one of the
Don't
leaders.
say that. Don't say that.
Well, you're a leader.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I'm not getting old, man. I try to stay like I'm keeping young, but yeah, it just feels different, because just being here since I was 17, going on 18, I am getting old when I say that. But no, it's just a blessing just to lead all the other guys. I know we got a couple JUCO guys that came, and just me seeing a bunch of freshmen that's now juniors or sophomores that's not seniors. Yeah, I just watched them grow. So I'm just trying to give them all the knowledge that I can before I go.
What does it mean to have Flex back? And were you one of the guys in his ear to come back? Says he almost quit.
Yeah. So Flex is actually my roommate. So I actually see him leave the room every single day to go work out or go get treatment. I know, like, there'll be times like our doors are right next to each other. I hear him praying about it. He was just so excited to come back, and he made me pray for him. Like, he's also my brother on this team now, and it's just a blessing to see him come back out here. I literally see him he caught up in tears today because how emotional he was. But I'm definitely rooting for him. I'm glad he's back, and he's just an incredible guy.
What about Jenkins? Facing him, what do you see from him in terms of improvement, growth? Where has he gotten better?
So he gotten better in all aspects. There you go, right there. I feel like he gotten better in all aspects. He gonna try to show his muscles. He over there doing push-ups right now, but he gonna try to show off his muscles. But my job is to make Keyone as best as he can. Lights is one of the best quarterbacks that I ever seen. So in practice, my job is to give him a hard time. If I'm not giving him a hard time, then I'm not doing something right. So I need like one pick from him for practice if he gonna throw it my way.
You need one.
I need one.
What are some things you learned from Donovan last year, now you being the leader?
I learned a lot of things from Donovan. One thing he always told me was thump and run. Just thump and run. Hit what you can and just run. Just run to the ball, because eventually the tackle's going to fall into your hand. And just be a playmaker. Donovan he was always that bright light in my ear. He's always told me, like, Reggie, you're one of the smartest football players I ever met. It's time for you to act like it. So don't think too much and just play what you know and just continue being that leader that you are. So Don he's one of the most athletic persons I ever met. So just seeing him run, it makes me want to run harder. We're competitive, so I'm telling him I'm going for the record this year. He was down 3, but I'm telling him I'm beating it. So.
Oh, the tackles record?
Yeah, I think it's 124. Yeah, so he had 121, so I'm telling him I'm beating it this year. He gonna get upset, but.
What are some of the linebackers that stood out to you?
All of them, to be honest, today. All of them, but like we got a Percy Courtney. He's one of the young guys that stood up. Now we got Alfred EA. You guys know him as EA. He's now number 1 instead of 15, so he's now trying to fill in that role for Donovan right now. But yeah, he also stood out because he dropped like 20 pounds. His body fat was ridiculous last year. Now he's 19 to 11% body fat. So he's one of those guys who's definitely taking it serious. And then we just got a bunch of JUCO guys, Travion Barnes, Dwight Nunu. They were top 15 best linebackers in JUCO. So just seeing them run out there, they're doing better than some of the guys who first started on their first day. Like they're already up here instead of we're thinking they're going to be like right here. We can't teach them if they already know it already, but they can always learn. So they're standing out to me too.
How does the maturity translate to the field, and how have you seen it just in the first day of practice?
So we try to keep that mindset as whenever we step on that green grass right there, it's just strictly business, unfinished business from last season. So we try to be mature in everything we do. We try to take everything serious. We try to take everything with intent. And just no playing around. We went 4-8 these last 2 years, and like Coach said, you even getting better, you getting worse, and I don't believe in getting worse. So if we do the same thing or we're out here every single day, we got 30 days, that's 1% better every single day, that's 30%. So now we got 70 more percent to get to the season's come.
I got a great pump, man, you know what I'm saying? I fell in love with eating and hitting that weight room, man. You love the weight room, it'll love you back.
How much weight have you gained from last year?
I'm going to say I was between 179 and between 186. I kept moving up and down. All right, now I weighed in like 194 today, so I'm going to say 10 pounds. Solid
And
10.
like, give us some weight room numbers, like the bench max or how many 225s you can rep. Where were you then and what are you now, to give us an idea?
When quarterbacks, we don't bench press. We do like dumbbell benches and stuff like that, but I get a lot of reps, and when we done with the workout, I go back and get some more arms, And then really, what turned me up it be some females in there, you know, so you got to get a little extra pump, you know what I'm saying?
Girls for the girls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm loving it. Coach Durfee, we got a great conditioning strength staff. I love those guys. Those guys love me. They helping me take care of my body, treat it right, and it shows.
What does that do for you? Like all kidding aside now, you came in, you were I don't want to say a little guy, but you know. What does that do for you to put on that size and that?
It gives me that confidence, and I want to say a little bit more stability to like withstand hits and stuff like that. And also it transfers with my power and stuff like that, speed, everything.
Have you feel you throwing the ball further?
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel me throwing the
What
ball
were you
faster.
last year and this year in terms of arm, how far you could throw it?
I'm gonna say my max last year was probably like 60 yards. Maybe a little bit further than that, but it was more so like how far I could throw it, but the power of it. A lot of my balls came out like soft. I won't know yet. We won't know until probably like a couple days.
But you see it. You see it on the tell me
Yeah,
what it looks like on the practice field when you're.
The spin of the ball, it just comes off different. Like the velocity of the ball, everything comes faster. I can see the ball getting to my receivers quicker and stuff like that, so I can tell.
Had you ever done weight training at Central High?
Yeah, well, I lived in the weight room at Central. Actually, my last 2 years, I'll probably say was my best. My sophomore year, I had a weak arm, and a lot of my officers, they told me if I get my arm stronger, they'll offer me. They lied, but I got my arm stronger, really for the best and the better of me, and you can tell.
So if you've been lifting weights this whole time, why this year the big jump? Just your.
It's different in college. You know, that jump from high school to college is different. The speed is just a little different, you know. It's still football, but the speed is different. Like, they break on the balls faster, DBs a little bit more advanced, and stuff like that, and the competition level.
How different has this spring, obviously, it's got to be a huge difference for you. The maturity of this team, the veterans that they have on this team now, how different did this spring first day feel than last spring?
This spring, I say we was more locked in, and we knew like what the goal was, our intention. It was pure and like straight to the point. We knew like what we want to do, come out and do, execute. And the guys from last year that came back, they're more like leaders. I say like me, for example, I'm more like one of those leader roles, playing the quarterback role and a bigger leader.
What's it mean to have Flex back?
It means a great thing. He's one of those high IQ guys on the field, great leader, and he can also help me like with checks and stuff, you know, because he's been in the system as well. So whatever I don't know, if I miss something and he sees something, he can tell me about it and stuff like that.
He says he was almost going to quit. Were you one of the guys talking to him about that?
Yeah, actually, me, Flex, and KJ, we talk a lot because, you know, we went to Miami Central, so like we kind of close bunch, and we just tell him like, you know, if we was at Central, it wouldn't even be no option to quit. So, you know, we kept cheering him up and telling him to keep talking to God and things get better.
How do you describe yourself as a leader?
I'll say right now, not great, but improved, like well improved. I'm one of those guys that people can look to the team for like, hey, like step up, you know what I'm saying? So.
You said not great. What do you have to do to be great?
I can say be more vocal. Like, I don't like talking a lot, but to be that leader, you got to be more vocal as a quarterback.
What about having Pete back on defense? He says he wants to get a pick off you in practice.
Reggie, man, that guy, he's a funny dude. But Reggie, he always asks me for a pick. We up in the locker room, I need one lights. I can't get it to you, Reggie. You got to go earn it, you know what I'm saying? Everything earned.
What do you think about the goal for this team? What do you think about how this team is gonna play this season?
More dominant. I'm here. I got a better feel for the game, so it's more slow for me now. And I'm gonna say our really intention is really go more than 4 than 8. You know, so we're not really a losing team. We don't want to be no losers. Everybody hate losing. Well, I know I do, and I'm gonna try to spread that around the team as well.
You know, being from South Florida, everybody expects the talent to be better than these teams that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you have the talent that's better than what's coming in, and the record should be better than 4 and 8 around here?
I'll say this year we did a much better job of recruiting. A lot of guys here, like they're great, talented guys, smart guys, and we got some size to us and speed as well. This year it's gonna be a whole lot better season.
What's it like not having Chris Mitchell?
We don't know until we see. But we're not really missing anybody. He just had a great year last year. You know, kudos to Chris. I'm happy for him. But, you know, I didn't really have a go-to receiver. I know that's what it looked like from the outside looking in, but he was just the guy getting open the most, you know, and the guy I could rely on. But we got guys like Dean Patterson, Eric Rivers, those guys coming back. Those going to be big playmakers.
Who are some of the newcomers you're looking forward to working with?
Nana, Desna. We got Kyle from last year, and McGuire. He's going to be pretty nice.
Cool. All right, man.
Thanks, man.
Good luck.
No
Thank you,
problem.
man.
Thank you.